Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, has received support from 11 CEOs in the top Fortune 100. So I want to bring in Charlie Spies. He has served as CFO and counsel for Mitt Romney's 2008 presidential campaign and calls himself an undecided, lifelong Republican. Good to see you, Charles.
Thank you.
Okay, so is this the year that you are no longer going to vote Republican? If you're a lifelong Republican, but you're undecided, help me understand what that means.
It means that I'm not a Hillary Clinton supporter. I'm horrified by hearing what I have about the FBI investigation and her chief of staff.
But the Republican nominee is Donald Trump, so are you voting for Donald Trump?
I hope he can win me over in the next 35 days.
With your vote?
With my vote, yes. Okay. The attacks.
So then you're not undecided. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. I was just a little confused of being undecided, lifelong Republican. So you're not undecided. You are voting for.
Why are you saying I'm not? I don't understand that argument. I'm saying I'm not a Hillary Clinton fan, but I haven't decided if I can vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said you were voting for Donald Trump, so you're not.
No, I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's move on now to this Fortune 100 list then. Why is it Donald Trump is not winning support by fellow businessmen and women who are in the Fortune 100 list?
Well, the Wall Street Journal interviewed one of those business leaders this week who's always voted Republican, and he said that Mr. Trump's temperament is the major issue, that the attacks on the disabled, women, Hispanics make it very hard for him and his colleagues to publicly support Trump, and I think that's the prevalent sentiment. Having said that, you have seen some of the most influential Republican donors in the past week funding that were on the sidelines, now coming on board and funding an effort to keep Hillary Clinton's numbers down so that we can maintain control of the Senate, which is going to be critically important as a bulwark against either one of them if they become president.
Is it odd to you that someone who is touting his business prowess and his track record as a billionaire for a very long time, being in the public as a very successful businessman for decades, that he wouldn't be winning support by fellow very successful business people who are on a list of the top 100 of the Fortune list?
When you see the list of lawsuits against his companies and how he conducted his business, it's not surprising. But I think an important point is that doesn't mean that they support Hillary Clinton's policies. It's more of a temperament issue. So other
Except that
Republicans,
11, as we understand, 11 of the top 100 CEOs are backing Hillary Clinton.
So 11% I don't think is a great number.
Will anything change within the next 38 days in your view?
I think up before the debate, Trump was doing a good job of making it acceptable for people like business leaders to come on board with him. Things pretty much collapsed over the past week with the poor debate performance and then the tweet storms. And don't underestimate how, if you're a public CEO, have public scrutiny, you have shareholders to respond to, and when somebody is attacking this universe and making very offensive attacks, it makes it hard for you to come on board with supporting them.
And so, Charlie, you worked with the Mitt Romney campaign. As I mentioned, he won about a third support of that, top 100 Fortune group. How do you compare and contrast, the business record of Mitt Romney and Donald Trump?
There is no comparison. Governor Romney, even Democrats admit that he was a phenomenal businessman and groundbreaking with his work at Bain Capital. Trump's business record is rife with bankruptcies and failed ventures. So you don't see the same sort of respect there. And Governor Romney also articulated a conservative vision of pro-growth economics. And I don't think there's a belief that Donald Trump is necessarily up to speed on what it takes with the economy. Having said all of that, there's a real discontentment with voters and with the business community that think it is rigged against them. And if Donald Trump can go back to that change of Washington message and point out that Hillary Clinton's part of the corrupt system in Washington, that's the winning message that still can win over business leaders.
All right.
But he's got to stick to that and make it possible for people to support it.
All right, let's see what happens perhaps in 8 days for that second presidential debate. Charlie Spies, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this reminder, this Tuesday, first we got to